Okay, so I think the first item, let me go back to this. Let me close this. Okay, so I just see myself. Actually, I'm gonna, yeah, should be good. So on the best practices and updates, I do want, everything that we do with FAC, and the whole time I am sure that it's been going on, it has been about just trying to get us to do the best that we can do, have best practices, keep up to date, keep informed. And that's what TASBO is a lot about too. So that, we've listed them. I forgot to tell Tracy that, but we've listed them too on the agenda in terms of, I think we had them listed. Well, if we didn't, we will get them listed. And I think listed, and we did at the last meeting, trying to look on here, in terms of keeping up with their emails too, and all of their communication. Their forums are really great too. So the best practices and updates, I really want this to actually have a title, even though that's what this whole meeting is about. So today, I'm going to spend just a little bit of time on FIRST, and the more detailed discussion on FIRST will happen in September. And then of course I'm just going to flash up there McAllen ISD, since obviously I was there for a bit, and they're still continuing to do great things. I'm going to talk about that. Then we're going to have Lori Atwood Ramos discuss some best practices as far as purchasing goes. And Carmen Ocañas Lerma, our Food and Nutrition Director, will discuss food and nutrition updates with folks. And then we're going to finish with Brenda Valderas, our Human Resources Director, on a topic that really will help you, even though you've already started your 2021 fiscal year, or you're about to on September 1. But this will be something that you really need to look at pretty early on in your year, because we will be paying close attention to this next legislative session and all that goes on with that. So let me go over to my FIRST ratings. If you can't see the PowerPoint, somebody please let me know. And the other thing, I'm just gonna stop my video. Okay, so 1920, this presentation that you're looking at, of course, is based on your 1819 data, all of your data that was submitted. These are for any newbies, and actually we do have someone that's just joining us. It is Sita Jimenez. Welcome, Sita, to our Finance Advisory Council. And Sita's with Rio Grande City, folks, so we definitely welcome Sita. The FIRST ratings, the Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas. For those that are newer, I'm going to just go through the PowerPoint. This is the more simplified PowerPoint that gets presented at our public hearing next week. The meeting happens to be next Thursday. So it's not all the detail that you all usually get, and even your superintendents get. So of course, the purpose of FIRST, we all know it was designed to encourage Texas public schools to manage their financial resources. This reminds me of this new TASBO award, which is great. To manage their financial resources better in order to provide the maximum allocation possible for direct instructional purposes. So always keeping focused on direct instructional purposes. So it is a tool that creates transparency and discloses the quality of local management and decision-making processes that the school district uses concerning the financial resources. And again, a lot of the information that TASBO is looking at, you have, or you're very close to having it all, especially those of you that have already obtained and sought and obtained these other awards. So here are the 2019-2020 ratings, again, based on last year's audited fiscal data and PEAMS data and so forth. Total of 15 indicators, 5 was not scored again. Remember the critical ones, 1 through 4, they're critical because if you fail any of those, it doesn't matter after that type of thing. Okay, and just shorten this up a little bit so I can see my screen. Okay, so again, A, superior, 90 through 100 points, and the B, and then the C, and then the F, and so forth. And so y'all are familiar with this. You can dig down on your indicators. TA, of course, got them posted. And if you want to know what you scored on each individual one, you definitely can. If anybody has questions on that, please let me know later, and we can cover that in more detail. I have a screen to talk to you all about that. So of course, here are the 4 critical indicators, right? One of the key things, as Tracy mentioned just a bit ago, to not have your bank recons done on a monthly basis, that's scary. And then to not have them done for the year, that's nightmarish. I mean, that's beyond scary, or with both of those, I guess. You must have an unmodified auditor opinion for your annual financial report, and no material weaknesses. And then you see 3 and 4 and 5, they're listed too. The solvency indicators, so you see all of those. Having cash, having fund balance and cash is pretty critical. Administrative cost ratio has been on there probably forever. The staffing, again, when you do the TASBO, look towards that TASBO award. You've got a lot of this information already because you're doing all of this for other items. So here's those 7 indicators. There's 3 on financial competence. And of course, PEMS is critical, even more critical after House Bill 3, but it's definitely always been critical. Material non-compliance, that's pretty straightforward there. Okay, here are the district ratings, and congratulations to all of you. You have a rating. I know 2 of you, there's different reasons that you will move from where you're at to get back over here to the superior, and I'm sure that you are capable of doing that. Congratulations to our superior. I believe the count was 26 on that one. And since I'm on the PowerPoint, I'm not really monitoring the questions, so somebody let me know if there are any or any comments. And there were, is it 10? I didn't even count it. 6, 8, 10. There were 12 of you that had perfect scores. So congratulations, again, 26 A's. Always, the great thing about, if you don't have an A, you always want to keep that A, but if you don't have it, the great thing is you've got opportunities to try to get there to it. And since we do not have the STAR awards on accountability this year, the districts that received an A will be receiving an award to definitely have some recognition. Even that with STAR change things on us. So these are the overall ratings. And again, I'm sure you've all pulled them. I'm sure you've gone and looked. The perfect scores, you didn't have to go find where you missed 2 points or whatever number of points. The charters, congratulations to the charters that we've got on FAC right now. You all got A's. That is super. We've got 6 that are in our Region 1 area. We've got others, but of course, some are tied to San Antonio or to Region 20 and so forth. But the 6 with us all received an A. So congratulations on that. And then we look at, Christina puts this together in terms of how do we compare to districts across the state for the A. So y'all are knocking it out of the park. It looks like 60% of the districts in the state received this, but in Region 1, let's see, state was 88.43%, Region 1 was 60%. So of course we've got some work there, but we can definitely get there. We have more B's, C's, and we're going to stay on a high note here. Okay, and then the charters, the opposite state was a little bit lower and Region 1 was higher. So we do that comparison there. So again, that is, let me go back to sharing the other screen. Hopefully I jump back and y'all can see the agenda, going back to the agenda. So that is what is going to be shared. Your superintendents usually, well, they're usually here in person for the public hearing, but they hopefully will be on the Zoom for that part of the meeting, because we do have a board meeting. Part of the meeting has to be the public hearing. Again, all about transparency and letting the public know how the Region 1 districts and charters are doing. So do I have any questions? I don't think I see any questions on the first, and we will cover it in much greater detail in September. So again, congratulations to you all. Oh, and key thing, for anyone who's not an A, and I don't even doubt that some of the A's will want to appeal their score, but they may not. I know I've had that. I think we've actually had that happen where they did not agree with the calculations that TEA made. So they appealed. So just keep in mind, you've got till September, and I was going to look up the exact date. It's either the 6th or the 8th. I think it's the 8th. It's 30 minutes to appeal your rating. So if you got a B, if you got a C, or if you got something else, and there's reasons that you think you need to challenge it, you know, or to appeal, to protest it, whatever the correct word is, do that. Last year we had an F district that actually submitted their appeal to the first, to TA, and they went from an F to a B. So that was great. That was great for them. Okay, if no questions on first, then I'm going to go and just share this screen with you. This is what will lead. We've got 3 departments that are going to follow me right now to discuss areas that are really critical, especially food and or child nutrition programs right now for the districts. But this is about best practices. And I use McAllen because thank God I got to be in McAllen about 6 years, just over 6 years. And I came in at the beginning of 09-10. And so this discussion, that what we want to do with the best practices, and y'all are more than welcome to share ideas, to share. If you're submitting for the TASBO award and you want us to see something before even TASBO sees it, or as TASBO is reviewing it, feel free to do that. We want all of our districts to get an A on first. We want to understand the calculations even better. We want to be able to make recommendations to TEA or to, well, now even to legislators as the session's coming up, the 87th session's coming up. But on the fund balance, this report that was developed for the budgeting tools, I think it's a really cool report, and I refer to this one as a cabinet level report that you can share, and you should be sharing with your cabinet level folks and superintendent. It lists the school years, it lists the fund balance, it lists the revenues and expenditures, so you can quickly get a look at, well, how many months or how many days do I have in fund balance? Now, the one thing about the fund balance, keep in mind, is we just list your total fund balance. We don't pluck out unassigned. And I'm sure we don't do that because some of you have unassigned and then you move other monies in other areas. And if we went back and looked 10 years, that money that was moved out to other categories has been there the whole 10 years. So we'd rather just look at, in other words, in some cases, it could have been sitting in unassigned the whole time. So we just look at the gross fund balance number. And again, 98 million, like in McAllen's case, versus 221, that's awesome. That's a really healthy fund balance. On some of the districts, you even know the year that they did the fiscal year change, like McAllen did theirs in 09-10. So you see it going from that 22 million to the 41 million. There was reasons for that. I mean, that definitely helped with that. You also see the student staff ratio, how stable or unstable that's been, and enrollment. The other thing, and again, if y'all want me, and in September, I do plan to during a section under best practices, and as we discussed the first, I'm going to show more districts with this exact report. Because the other thing that's really great about McAllen is look at the enrollment, where it's gone. The highest that, and I can say we were at, because I was there that year, was 25,622. The lowest is now is 18-19, 22,875. But look at their fund balance. not only has it been stable, it's been growing. So a lot of great things are happening in McAllen. Student staff ratio, you see the numbers and how that's shifted, and even all staff, right? High of 3506, which is the oldest year on this, and a low of 3266. And here's the revenues, expenditures, and enrollment in graph format. So we want to talk more details in terms of what makes up these numbers and what are some of the best practices that we can use, I would be more than happy to go and try and talk. And I have actually, it's been kind of cool. I love the working with Region 1 because I get to go talk to other teams. We've been to districts to talk to them about purchasing. We've been to districts to talk about just overall what's happening in your finances and with the soups. And one of them, well, a few have been board meeting type settings, but a lot of them are our administrative team. And that's really where I'd rather be, in discussing it with an administrative team versus discussing it at a board meeting. Can do both, but obviously we want to take that approach first.